Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Webs Women.
where exposure brings strength. Hello, Jeanette, and one of our favorite guests. I sing sometimes, Bev. Sometimes I sing.
Hello, hello. And
Hello.
welcome. Beverly Pirone is in the house.
In the house.
That's funny. That's great.
Beverly, this is like a speak free zone here. There is no script. There is no nothing, Bev. So we're a little crazy sometimes. We get a little off topic and out of hand. But hey,
Well,
you fit right in because we know you well.
I was going to say, watch what you asked for.
that's right. That's right. And I have to tell you, I put my hair up because I was trying to channel my messy bun, the messy bun look, because Bev and Andrea are notorious to rock these messy buns. They look fabulous, but they didn't give me the memo. And they are just looking mighty fabulous with their hair all done up. So I'm got a side bun going on. So anyhow, I just thought
That's a Cyndi Lauper look.
yeah, it's a kind of, I don't know what
Girls just
it's a
wanna
crazy
have
look for
fun.
sure. It's a
Yeah.
crazy look.
I love
Well,
it.
Well, anyhow, let's get to it. I'm really excited that Beverly was able to carve some time and join us.
Mhm.
And for those of you who are listening in, Beverly Pirone is a dear friend of ours, and we met her a couple of years ago through the network marketing industry, and we all know how we feel. Well, everyone who listens to us knows how we feel about the industry. We think it's fantastic. It's just a great way to bring multiple streams of income. But Beverly is an amazing powerhouse leader. She has been almost 7 years with her company. She's been recognized as a woman of power. She's received a Power of Leadership Award. She's received plenty of accolades, top commercial sales. I mean, this woman is a woman who continues to rise and, raise, she's always leveling up. I truly admire her work ethics, her commitment, but most importantly, her consistency. And her story is really powerful because it's a woman that was leading an ordinary life, mom life, and to an extraordinary one. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Bev.
Well,
Welcome, Beverly.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
thank you, ladies. And I'll just say ahead of time, you both are part of my story. So back
Yes,
in
yes, we are.
right, you are. Back
Yeah.
in 2016, my kids were going to school far from my house, and I was on 287 every day. And this is crazy. I was doing all these fundraising things at the church, and I said, I got to get a part-time job just to be closer to their school. So I got a job at Target. I just wanted to work like 8 to 2. And then after about 3 weeks, with my fabulous personality, God asked me to front end manager. And I did not want to do that at all. Didn't want to do it at all. But after a few days, they kept coming up to me, and everybody there was great. I loved the people I worked with. They were from all walks of life. I do not like retail. I can honestly say that on how people do it.
Mhm.
So I did take the management position. And along the way, the organist at my church, which you both know, Jeff Steer, kept asking me to take a look at this business. And I kept kind of blowing him off, but I was watching him on Facebook. And then one day I said, you know what, does look kind of fun what he's doing. I wonder what it is. So we met at a diner, and he showed me, a short video. And I'm like, gosh, this makes sense. I could make a couple $100 a month and just save people some money. And, I'm going to give it a try. Didn't have any big hopes, just a couple $100. Kids would be starting college soon. So I started asking people, for their electric bills and if I could save them some money. And Jeff got me to join some networking groups, which was the first one I joined, that Ruby Gonzalez. How I met you two. You two came into the picture later on under Ruby.
Yeah.
But so I told Jeff early on, I said, well, I'm not going to go on any of these rah-rahs trips. I haven't flown on a plane in 30 years. So as I'm walking out to my car from Target, the phone rings, it says Jeff Steer. I'm like, oh, I said, hello. He says, listen, I got United Airlines on the phone. He goes, you got to do me a huge favor. can you go to Texas? And I just said yes. I said, okay. And I pulled the credit card out in the middle of Target parking lot and give him I booked this flight. And he said, you could even stay in the same room with Chris and I. Now, fast forward 7 years, he would never let me stay in his room now, but that's another story. So anyway, when I got home, I sit on my couch and I'm always exhausted after Target. I mean, who wants to run around and put DVDs on a shelf? I don't know anybody that wants to do that. So I get home and I'm like, what did I just do? Oh my God, I'm flying to town. I've flown on a plane in 30 years. And I'm not going to take up all the time explaining that there's a very funny story with the whole flight thing, because it's not People's Express 30 years ago. It's all different now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we make it to Texas. That was the best trip ever. I have not missed a trip since then. Wherever we go, wherever there's a trip or a function to promote the business, I'm there. And that really blew my business up. And the key was staying consistent, because I'm not a brainiac. I'm not a book reader. I'm a doer.
Yeah.
So I just do. And I love the fact that my first networking event, and it was my turn to tell my story, and I'm new. I have my little postcards written out, and I had made these booklets. I made these, gave to everybody in the networking group. And Ruby Gonzalez was the president. She was doing another network marketing company at the time. And she was so professional and everything. And here I felt, I don't know, just was different. She was very corporate, and I'm not at all.
Yes, Ruby is. Yeah.
But whatever I did impressed her, because she walked up to me afterwards and she said, do you take referrals? I have no clue. I just said, anytime somebody asked me something, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Then I'm texting Jeff, I said, I met this woman. Do we take referrals? And Jeff said, yes, well, of course we do. So anyway, long story short, Ruby kept giving me all these electric bills. I think one of them was yours, Jeanette. And we're putting the electric bills in, and she started seeing how the income was just coming in from these electric bills. So lo and behold, she put Anthony into the business. So, and they're both such a great couple. I love them. It was so much fun. So they put the business, and we just grew from there. And you guys were on some of the trips. I missed that. I wish you would come back. Just be on this call talking to both of you. You guys made it so much fun. So much fun.
They did have some really good times. And I do have to say, first of all, I love your story, Bev, because it's one of, so many times people are very skeptical, especially with any opportunities that they're not familiar with. And oftentimes when people are skeptical is really based on what they hear from others who are not really educated in that type of industry. Oh, it's a pyramid. What are you doing? It's a cult, this, that, and the other thing, right? But what I love about your story, it was like, you're like, let me just give it a shot. Why not?
But in the beginning, she didn't. In the beginning, how many times did you turn Jeff down? Yeah. That's the question.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's a real question.
Right. If he listens to this, he probably laughs. We laugh now. He's a lot of fun, but he wanted my electric bill, and and it sounded like he was reading from a script. This is how bad he was. This is 10 years ago, 7, 8. No, I've been in the business 7 years. This had to be 8 or 9 years ago when he started reaching out to me. Hi, this is Jeff Steer. I'm getting married and I need money to pay for my wedding, and I can save you money. I gotta go. I'm not, what? I literally either hang up or I wouldn't even talk to him. I'm not giving you my electric bill, So what made me interested in what he was doing was seeing how much fun he was having. I have a blue personality. I think both of you probably do too, but he was having a lot of fun on Facebook. So I wanted to see what it was he was doing. So I thank God I didn't give him my electric bill, because I used my own electric bill for my business,
Yeah.
And so that's how it started. But I was telling Jeanette earlier, I got to a point where I was just being consistent. I'm not one to go in and read the bylaws and the comp plan, and I'm just a doer. So when I was on one of the trips, Angie Kreiner Dorfy, who's a top income earner in the business, and Amy Nadell we had a dinner together in Mexico. They said, when we get back, you're so close to executive director, we're going to lock arms and run. And I did. And it was so funny. It was around Christmas time and my dining room table looked beautiful. I did not touch that dining room table until I made executive director, which was in April. So I took a before picture and an after picture. It was just, I shit everywhere. It was hysterical. So they surprised. I'm usually pretty good at knowing when I'm getting something and not being surprised. Kim called me from corporate and she said, Beverly, I have to have a conversation with you. I thought maybe something was wrong. She says, I'm going to give you a call later this afternoon. When will you be around? I said, around 4:00. So I got this Zoom call and she came on. It was Rob Snyder, Kim, Adrian, the whole Jeff knew he was on there. Jeff was actually crying.
Oh,
Director. And I really made executive director. And I was so excited. And because I love the company and it was so much fun. And we were going to Texas in June. And I was going to walk the stage. But what we didn't know is in June, Connect had been sold to ACN. Didn't know any of this till we got to Texas. And then Jeff called me. The top people knew. Jeff already knew. He knew a day before. And we went in, Lisa Martini and I flew in a day early. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm by the pool having a pina colada. Why? So annoying. He said, are you by anybody? And I said, no, I'm getting ready to go over by the pool though. Why? What do you want? He goes, go sit down. I'm like, oh God. He goes, Connect has been sold. Don't say anything. I'm still coming out there. They're going to have the owners of ACN there, which they did. They had the owners there. Phenomenal men. I mean, now I'm in love with ACN, but I was devastated. This is what I knew. I didn't want the change.
right.
So that's stagnant for a year. I kept my eye on things, but I wasn't working. I said,
Yeah,
but
you weren't like putting it 100% like you did before.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was really powerful was I still got paid month after month after month. And my checks were actually bigger than they were with Connect. And I'm like, wait a minute, my checks are still counting. What am I, an asshole? I don't want to lose this money.
And this is without you putting any effort, you're getting those residuals. Imagine if you gave it all you got like you did before, right?
Right.
Well, Jeff said that to me the other day. It was so funny. So I started looking at their other services and I love their home security. The cell phones are great. So now I'm focused on the other services and I'm back in the game now.
Yeah.
So Jeff and I meet once a week. We're back in it. And but it was devastating for a lot of people, but it's actually a great company. The same 4 co-owners are still the co-owners and they've owned it for 30 years. They just celebrated the 30-year anniversary. I think that's
You just came back from a trip, right? From a conference.
Their big event.
Nice.
For Connect, this was the big event for them. They're fabulous. They're fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. What a story, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And fun.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about fun. I mean, we had a ton of fun.
We did.
With you, with Jeff, with the whole, with our team.
We had Jeff, Stair here before. He's
Okay.
been on our podcast. And, what I love about Jeff is that he's created such a great culture. He's a great leader. And I think that really is a testament as to why he's had, his success alongside with his team, right? Like, I know you're one of his heavy hitters, Bev. You're one of his,
Top dogs.
Top dogs, right? Yeah, you're the one who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I have to remind him sometimes.
That's right. That's right. You, Michael J. There's a few people who are really like, the key folks, right? Not to take away from others who are doing stuff, but I think that, I love, and he said this before, when you are passionate about the things that you love, you never work a day in your life. And you gotta be able to have fun, like I see you on social media, you're out, you're having like breakfast and, having all kinds of stuff, and you're still living life, enjoying, connecting, having a great time and meeting new people. And not everybody can say that. 'Cause a lot of
Yeah.
folks who are stuck in their 9 to 5 and again, it's sometimes you don't have a choice, but not everybody feels, excited about work. And so,
Right.
and to your point with Target, like who the hell wants to be, stocking DVDs, right?
Oh
But
my.
imagine, if you did, you didn't say yes. And imagine if Jeff wasn't persistent on you. Where would he
Mhm.
be? Right. So it's
Exactly.
such a great, it's like that compound effect. And it's like
Mhm.
that, like I just think it's so awesome. And I'm so proud of you, Bev. When we first met, I still love you. I still adore you. But I was like, I love her. She's got like this energy. It's very like, I don't give a shit. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
And she hasn't
Yes.
changed.
The day I met Bev, she's like, I don't look at the comp plan. I don't do anything. I just say, can you give me your bill? And I was like, what? She's like, I don't even know what the comp plan says. I don't know what anything says. I don't look at it. And I was like, what? And then, cause I've been in sales for a long time. So, and recruiting and staffing for a decade. So when Bev was like, whatever, I was like, I like the whatever attitude. I love it. Like,
You know why? I trusted Jeff.
yeah,
Jeff reads everything. If it
Yeah.
was good enough for him, I don't need to read it.
right.
I'm not going to understand it anyway. And my ADHD is going to go all over the place.
Yeah.
So if it's good for him, it's good for me. Just show me the money. I'll
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
work. You show me the money. That's, my motto.
And I think
Love it.
I think we trusted Ruby and Anthony,
Yeah.
right? And, and what happens too with what I love about network marketing is that you become really close with the people that you work with
Yeah.
you do, you become really close. You know, the ins and outs of what goes on with their family, right? You learn all these things about people. And then I feel like even though I've been out of the game and dealing with a whole bunch of shit. But even though I've been out of that game, I pick up the phone and talk to you like it was yesterday that we spoke without question.
Yeah. It's
And
not uncomfortable or awkward.
not at all. And in network marketing throughout, I've been in a few different companies, but I have had the same connections within those other organizations too, because I think you end up becoming not just business partners, you become friends.
Absolutely. And people in that industry, we all seem to have the same mindset.
Yes.
It's usually positive. There's a
Yes.
couple of times, you gotta complain and vent, but
Well,
then you get
everybody, there's always a little bit of that.
that monthly
Yeah.
residual check comes and you're back to normal again.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I've been in a lot of different, MLM companies, lots of them. And
Mhm.
I don't regret any of them. But I will say there was only 2 companies. There's a nutritional company. That's how I met Anthony and Ruby, who are like, they're my family. And then Stream, now
Yeah.
ACM. And there's just a few people that whether you run alongside them in a business or not, you're always going to be connected.
Yes,
No pun
exactly.
intended, right? But you're
Yeah.
always going to have those connections because I genuinely, even if I'm not, active in a business, I am extremely supportive. I want to see everyone succeed.
Yes.
Because, you guys are like an extended family, and it's just so nice to see folks who are winning. And folks, what I like is that there's no there's not that ugly competition. Everybody is
Right.
trying to
Yes.
help each other out. Hey,
Yes.
like that's beautiful that you had your 2 friends. We're gonna link arms with you. We're getting you to ED. And where are you gonna hear that? Like, you're not gonna happen anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Everybody in the Angie Kreiner Dorfy is one of my favorite. You guys fit in with her. You never met her, right? You didn't.
No.
Oh my God!
I've heard of her though.
I've heard of her. I've seen her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so funny. She's so much fun. Yeah, you fit in with that, definitely.
Yeah. And having those people around you, it just, you know what? It makes the bad days good. It makes you, when you are sluggish, because everybody has that downtime. Everybody is a little sluggish at certain times,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
there's other people there to lift you up, pick you up, and kick you in the ass to move forward.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's how me and Jeanette met. I mean, we were in a room with 5 people and it was a little crazy, but we learned a lot that weekend. But
Oh my God, no words. That's a whole nother podcast.
And that doesn't go without Anthony Gonzalez doing all of his antics.
Yeah, his little shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
You can't be around the G unit, especially him. He's
Yeah.
got a whole lot. He's a jokester.
So funny.
So, Beverly, for those who are listening, and I had said that the majority of our listeners or our audience are mostly women, and what would be like if you had to give 1 or 2 takeaways, like to give to somebody, maybe somebody's listening and saying, I don't know if I could do something like that. That sounds like she has that kind of personality. She, like somebody who's on the fence, who's a little afraid to explore outside of, of what they're doing.
Mhm.
Is there anything you would say to that person, like that's listening in, like any words of wisdom?
You have nothing to lose. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to go to somebody to show them what you have, and they're going to say no. And then you just say next. And no means not now. I had a lot of people in the beginning that told me no.
Yeah.
And then they came on board later on, or at least got their bills and stuff. But you have nothing to lose.
I love that.
Say go for it. Don't be afraid to contact your upline or other people in the business, because people are always willing to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then there's always people there, not even just that they have to contact. I mean, especially with, I say our team, like still my team, but our team, your team, our team. I still say, that you meet those people immediately, you are brought into a family, and if you're in the right organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think very highly of Jeff's team and you guys. And I think that team is solid. And I think once you're brought in, all of a sudden everybody's there. You're not alone.
Exactly.
You're never alone.
And you can call anybody on that team at any time, because me, I'm a morning person. Who else on the team is a morning person? Michael J. I can call him at 5:30 in the morning. He'll be the friendliest, most upbeat thing you ever spoke with.
Oh, I love him. He's so great.
Here's another story. Don't call Steer at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
Yeah, there's always somebody you can reach out to, no matter what time of day or where you are. And it's a great.
And I think people have to, like I always say, you have to bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Oftentimes people sell themselves short and they think, I don't know if I could really do something like that, but you're never going to know until you try, right?
Exactly. I never dreamed I would be where I'm at right now. And it was just staying consistent. I never judged anybody. Like I said, I was nervous with her because she was so pretty and professional and very corporate the way she spoke. And I'm just whatever comes out of my mouth type of girl. And so whenever she would ask me a question, it was very professional. I'd say, oh yes, absolutely. Because I didn't know what to say. And I'm texting Jeff under the table.
Well, it's funny because when Ruby had described you to me, she said, she's a hustler. She's a very smart, bright woman.
Oh, I'm flattered.
She goes, we really need to take a look at this. I was just like, all right, I'm in. What's up?
I'm flattered.
Always, because she was like, this is just like, we got to take a look at this model. Like, and I was like, okay. I was like, and I did, and I'm glad I did, I think that you have to keep yourself open.
And not just them. Exactly. Another one that came my way, Fred Luthi, wanted to have fun. Now, everybody else would have said no to him. I say no to no. If somebody wants to meet, I'm going to meet them. I had just earned the Benz. I hadn't got it yet, but I had earned it. And he wanted to have lunch. I said, yeah, we can have it. And I thought he's probably going to try to recruit me because he had his own commercial energy business. And he did, but he's such a nice guy, Fred. And he did. He was trying to recruit me. And I said, Fred, I'm not going anywhere. I said, and I didn't try to spiel him. I just said, I'm with this company. And I just showed him the one page where you can earn if you get so many customers, whatever. He goes, you mean I can do this, this, and I, yeah. And I didn't think anything of it. Didn't show him videos or nothing. So I got home a couple hours later, 3 p.m. He called me. He said, have you looked in your back office? I said, no. He said, we have a new associate. And then by the time we had the next meeting at Frank's Pizza, he had brought like 20 people with him that joined the business.
My God. Yeah.
So you never judge anybody.
You never know. That's right.
Exactly.
And there's so many different personalities. I mean, I know the three of us have a similar personality. We're outspoken. We say what we want to say. Jeanette's a little more reserved, maybe. I'll say a little more professional and reserved, but than this other two folks. but really, like, we have the same personality. But in the end, when you end up meeting everybody, when you get into a network marketing organization, when you meet these people, everybody has a different personality. Nobody is the same. So you pick up a little bit of everybody's personality along the way too. So, your success comes from, whether you like it or not, a little bit of Jeff. Sorry, Jeff.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, no, but you pick that up and you hear, some of the things they say and you're like, oh, well, that's kind of me. Okay. And so when somebody, back to Jeanette's question, when somebody says, I don't really have the personality that she has,
Look at my Paul, as green as the grass. He needs graphs and charts. But he's successful. He's got that green personality, very analytical, and he's very successful in the business. So, and I think even though you meet the people with the different personalities, because everybody has a positive mindset, it just works. Like, I'm not good with people with green personalities, but I love Michael Campbell. He's just so much fun and so funny.
Who doesn't love Michael Campbell?
I know, but outside of the network
The
marketing
king. The king.
he is. Well, if I meet somebody with a green personality, I'm like, no, because but in our realm, in our business, it's just great because we've got the same mindset,
Yeah. And that's the key. The key is the positive mindset. So if you don't have a positive mindset, if you are a naysayer, if you are a negative Nelly, you don't belong in network marketing. You just don't.
Listen, even if you're negative or a naysayer, I'd say go for network marketing because it may transform you.
It may. You're right. You're right.
You need.
You're right.
If you get around life givers and positive people, chances are that's going to jump on you.
Right.
And you can get excited about life, right?
Yeah. If you're willing to make the change, that's the one thing. You got to be willing to open up and make
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a real funny, super quick Jeanette story. And you know what I'm going
to
Was she negative? Tell us.
No, not at all. And I think of this, when I think of you, Jeanette, this is the first thing I think of. We met at Starbucks one day in Somerville. And we were going to, go over the winter computers and stuff. It was very windy outside. And were we sitting inside? We were inside.
Yeah, then at some point.
Old man, and we're going to go to hell for this. But there was an old man. He was old. His little gray hair was blowing in the wind. And he was standing against the window, trying not to let the wind blow him. And he set his coffee on the outside table, and the wind blew it right over. Jeanette and I were on the floor laughing.
You are evil.
Isn't that horrible?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You remember that?
We cannot stop. That was it. It was shot. Like we were like, we can't.
I didn't even think to go get that poor man another coffee because we were just laughing. The more she laughed, the more I laughed. And the more I laughed, the more she laughed. I was done. I was like, oh God, we're going to hell. This poor man.
We're going to hell.
Oh God, Lord forgive us. Oh my God. Yeah. So we already knew, like, okay.
Yeah.
I see you. We're here. But,
remember his little gray hair blowing in the wind? We only had like 3 strands and it was blowing in the wind. So funny. His coffee just went mope.
That poor guy. That poor guy.
Oh
I know.
my God. Good times. Good
If that were
times.
me, I'd be pissed.
Yes.
Here I am laughing. Oh God.
I'm glad that's not our story, Bev.
I know. Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is what I love. I love that you always make me laugh and you still make me laugh, Bev. I'm here crying. But I do have to say, I really want to thank you for taking the time to come on and share your story with us. I just think that you're a dynamic person and you're doing such amazing things, have done amazing things, continue to do amazing things.
Mhm.
You're definitely doing the do, and I couldn't be more proud to call you a friend. And thank you. Thank you
Oh,
for
thank you.
all that you
Yeah.
do.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Both of you. Always love you
Yeah.
girls.
Aw.
I
We love
appreciate
you, Bev. We love you.
Yes, yes. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Remember, you're listening to Webb's Women.
Where exposure brings strength.